here's something I wanted to share with you if you wanted to do this. I've put a Moto Guzzi EV 11 tubeless spoked rim on my Quota. I wanted to show you how to do this. Step one, we've got our Quota rim here, and the Quota rim is a fine rim if you like tube type rims. This particular tube type rim also has cracks where the spokes were going into the rim. So we get ourselves an EV wheel. We move the spline drive hub from the Quota wheel into the EV wheel. We'll also need an EV brake rotor, and this is the carrier for the bracket. You'll need that off an EV, and you'll need the caliper off an EV. Now, your caliper hanger and your caliper can be EV, Bossa, Jackal, Stone, Special Sport. There's a whole bunch of models that use that same unit. You'll also, as we can see here, need an extra bolt, because this is a 6-bolt and that one's a 5. Okay, so once you've put this wheel on, if we look over here, you see that there's a little bitty gap here. That gap has to be there. To get that gap, once you put this wheel off an EV on this drive, which is for a Quota, this is going to rub. So you put a little spacer in between the two. Now that spacer, I'd recommend you make it kind of cup-shaped so it sits on the spacer that sits inside here. And you're just going to want to space it out. It needs to be 3 millimeters tall. And if you just make it flat, you can hold it in place using a whole bunch of axle grease, but you can make it easier on yourself if you make it cupped so it sits in here on the spacer. Alrighty, then, oh, that's wonderful. Anyway, here's where I went wrong. I made a mistake here. So I actually deepened the counter bore in this part so that I could use the stock Quota axle. I don't recommend that. Instead, I'd recommend you chuck your Quota axle up on a lathe. I just use this as an example, and turn this back further. Rather than deepen the counter bore there, just turn it back there so that your axle sticks out this side the correct amount. And that was a mistake I made. In retrospect, I should have done that. So right now, this has just got a deeper counter bore in it, and yeah, it's not as good. So use your Jackal EV caliper hanger, your Jackal EV caliper. But I'll say this too. See how close that is? And this being Italian, that weld, if it's slightly thicker, you might have to file that right there on the swing arm to get that caliper to fit. It's real close. But it'll go. Now I got to go get another one of those bolts. But my Quota wheel has now been replaced by an EV wheel, so I have tubeless spoked wheel on the back of my Quota. Now we're just going to retire this Quota wheel. The next project is going to be figuring out how to put a tubeless spoked wheel on the front of the Quota. But there you go. Any questions? Just put them in the comments. Ask me. I'll sure step you through and make sure it turns out okay for you. Good luck.